The Manx International Rally will be a classic showdown on the country roads of the Isle of Man. Appropriately in 3 legs, it will be a head-to-head between the Lancastrian and the Finn, Weirden and Ipati.
I'm quite relaxed still, but I think the pressure is on Neil now, because he has to win, and then we have to finish third. Or if he's second, fifth is enough for us.
Winner takes all, and a determined Neil Weirden left the start ramp in Ramsey, while fellow Vauxhall driver Mark Higgins was more relaxed. The Manxman would have loved a home win, but his primary role now was to support his teammate.
It's a team sport at the end of the day, and we are in a team, but I'll be going out for it. That's a long way away yet. This is a hell of a long rally, and I don't think it's ever been predictable, and I don't think ever will be, so we'll worry about that if it does happen, you know, on day 3.
Younger brother David was in the same situation, riding shotgun for Peugeot teammate Justin Dale in the Ferodo Super 1600 Championship.
If we finish first and Mats is third, then we've got the championship. So we'll see at the end of the rally whether we need to play a team game or what happens there.
But the man who was poised to poop the Peugeot party was Proton's flying Swede, Mats Andersson.
At the moment, I'm leading over Justin, but so the tarmac is from the Peugeot, so we're just trying to keep up with him. We'll see, it's a long rally, so a lot of things can happen.
The 3 legs of the Manx International will give 26 timed special stages from the start ramp in the shadow of the Laxey Wheel, using closed public roads to twist and turn from one end of the island to the other. From Douglas to Derby Head, Ramsey to Castletown, the weekend-long Rally Fest adds to the island's unique mixture of landscape and heritage. But at the start of the first of the 2 stages through the streets of Ramsey, Neil Weirden's mind was on victory.
4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50 square left. 50 square left. Right 6, 20. Right 4 plus wide. 50. Right 6, 50. Square right.
But as the car crossed the bridge, a change in exhaust note.
70. Right 4 left 6. Here.
Something was badly wrong.
3 right 5.
Pumps, put the pumps in.
Weirden was in big trouble within a mile of the start, and that would mean jubilation inside Ipati's Mitsubishi.
Vasen eri hidas, takavino. Kumpi ulkona? Niili ulkona.
Yes, yes.
In disbelief bordering on shock, Weirden could only watch as Ipati cruised by.
600. Elä sä itse. Ja oikea K maaliin.
The Finn was on his way to the end of the stage and the champion's title.
Maali. Onneksi olkoon.
Yes, yes.
As Ipati and co-driver Kari Kajala celebrated, the Vauxhall team could only commiserate with Weirden. A terminal engine failure would see the Astra go no further.
Neil, so what can you say?
Get the beers in, I think. It's unbelievable, really. You know, we haven't even started the rally. I don't think we've even done half a mile. No warning at all. That was it. I was looking down for electrical connections and things like that inside the car. And then as soon as I looked in the mirror, I saw the smoke, and obviously then I knew that there was no chance the car was going any further. So it's just, I feel a bit numb, really. It's strange, a real strange feeling. It doesn't feel as like it's happened, and maybe I'll wake up in a minute and, you know, we'll start the rally again, but obviously not. That's the way it's going to happen.
But at the end of the first stage, you'd think that Ipati and Kajala had already won the rally. Their second run around Ramsey Harbour was more like a lap of honour. But though the title was settled, there was still a rally to be won. Weirden's Lancastrian compatriot Neil Simpson had a strong chance in his production Mitsubishi, even if he needs a bit of start line practice. Once moving, though, Simpson was the man to watch. 10th as a result of the stalled engine in Ramsey, he was quickly back up into the leaderboard, in 3rd place. Ahead of him, though, it was a battle royal between the 2 top Formula 2 cars, and Tapio Laukkanen was giving it 100% in the Volkswagen Golf.
Plus ja lyhyt oikee eri 2. Vasen K aukee 2. Oikee eri plus ja lyhyt vasen K plus älä. 10. Oikee K plus pidä ja vasen K älä lopus.
But the Finns VW was short on test mileage and was struggling over the bumps. By the 5th stage of the rally, Mark Higgins had gained the advantage. The smoother riding Astra completed the ultra-fast Keller stage 20 seconds faster than the Volkswagen.
90, left 6 open, 120, crest and right 6 okay, 80, leftish over crest 120.
Mats Andersson's defence of the Ferodo Super 1600 Championship lead had started well. 12th fastest on the opening stage, 4th in class. The Swede's smooth style was suiting the Proton Satria, and he was happy to set his own pace while Justin Dale went on the attack in the Peugeot 106.
Right 2, 100, right 3, and left 2.
Dale was comfortably the fastest 1600 in 4th place overall. He needed Andersson, though, at least 2 places behind in the championship, and his teammate David Higgins was already struggling with gearbox problems. First selection problems, then a split casing meant the box lost all its oil and was shrieking in agony. Ulsterman Niall McShea was again in his element on the asphalt with a Citroën Saxo and ahead of Andersson, despite trailing his exhaust. That should have been good news for Dale, but on special stage 6, the privately run Citroën's attack on the factory cars was destined to come to a premature end.
And absolute right over crest, 30, long absolute right. Oh, jeez. Wheels not. Try and get her pulled in somewhere now. Got no brakes or nothing. Try and get her in. Is there a space here on the right? No. You're just going to have to put her in as tight as you can put it. That's it. Right, get out.
McShea out with a broken wheel, but David Higgins was at least back in the service area, with the Peugeot mechanics racing against the clock to keep him in the event. They do it this time, only for the gearbox to fail again, reducing the Peugeot attack to 1 car on the last stage of day 1. Meanwhile, the new champion, Marco Ipati, was also out of the event, by choice.
We have made a decision that we don't start in the morning. We retired because I think we have won championship now, and there's no point to go tomorrow because we easily broke something. We saved our car. Our car is going back to Finland and it's going to the Finnish Championship Series after 2 weeks. And so we save money and save our service crew and everything. I think tomorrow we spectate.
And the spectating Ipati could look forward to a battle between Mark Higgins and Tapio Laukkanen, with the Finn needing to close a 47-second gap to the Manxman, who was coy about just how hard he'd been trying.
Is it comfortable, or is it,
You always ask questions like that. We always say it is comfortable, but we were trying quite hard there.
So tomorrow's plan?
Just keep on top of the game, really. I know Tapio, when it's the smoother stages, I think he's a bit happier with the car, he'll go harder. But this rally, you've got to finish it. You've got to have no mechanical problems, and look what's happened on the first stage, so just keep our heads down and go for it.
Relaxed determination at Vauxhall while the Volkswagen engineers were trying to improve the Golf's hard ride. The second day of the Manx International Rally, and heavy rain would add to the challenge as Mark Higgins started the 8th special stage.
And left 5 opens over crest and bump, and right 4 plus to bump, and left 5, 50, bump and leftish over jump, 70, right 6 over jump, 70, left 6.
Higgins was defending a 47-second lead in the Astra. But behind him, the late-night suspension tuning had given Tapio Laukkanen a better handling car. And despite the weather, the Volkswagen driver was on the attack. This hasn't been Tapio's luckiest year, and the trend was set to continue. He was heading for a small spin at the chicane, but watch for the vibration coming through the gear lever as he continued. It was a sign of something more serious, a front-end puncture that would lose him over 2 minutes, dropping him to 4th. Neil Simpson last year caused amazement by taking a turbo diesel Golf as high as 2nd place. This year he was comfortably the fastest four-wheel drive production class car.
Steiny to turn hairpin left.
But while the all-wheel drive was proving an asset in the wet, stopping the heavy car on its production-sized brakes was obviously more of a problem.
Steady. No, just reverse, just reverse. Steady on her. Left one, over 80. Left one, bump, right one, 100.
Instructions from the ever-calm Mike Gibson keeping Simpson on the straight and narrow, as suddenly the duo would see the limping Laukkonen and know they were second overall.
Tight hairpin left, round wheel. Right two, 150. Left one, the right two minus, keep in.
Mats Andersen and Claire Mole had finished the first leg 9th overall and second in the Ferodo Super 1600s. Sufficient to claim the title, but they still had to finish.
Slippy continues. Care, left 4, tightens to 2 minus, very slippy, to right 260.
On stage 8, they came perilously close to throwing it all away.
Right 260, right 2 short, to left 2. It's a small crest, to right 3 plus.
The brakes locked up, yes, that's it. I don't think we're trying to now. We just had the brakes keeps locking up all the time, and they locked up a bit too much at one place. So unfortunately, we were stuck on a post, so that took us about 10 minutes. So a bit of a struggle.
Junior champion Dave Wright had this accident on the test stage before the rally even started.
Dear me, David, you plonker. I was so soft, that. Yeah.
Amazingly, they still started the rally moving ahead of Anderson before going off again for good on special stage 9. And that was bad news for Dale. He still needed a championship contender between himself and Anderson to win the 1600 title.
And left 5 gravel. Into right 1.
The Peugeot was now up to 3rd overall, 37 seconds ahead of the recovering Laukkonen. And if the Finn had ever thought the battle for the lead was over, it wasn't showing in his driving. But on stage 10, he was set to push a critical inch too far.
Oikein täysmiinus 5, lyhyt vasen täysmiinus 70, vasen nopea.
Neil Simpson was flying high on his way to passing Laukkonen for his second time in the day.
Easy, 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 easy. It's okay, steady. Left 3 plus.
Laukkonen and Kai Lindström both indicating with crossed arms the need for a recovery truck to move the stricken Volkswagen. Simpson would pass on the message at the end of the stage that the defending champion's season was over. Meanwhile, there was no shortage of action in the production class. Guy Anderson and Dave Taylor were one of 5 crews still capable of winning the class title. But they'd already lost time after hitting a gate on the first night, and now worse was to come. Watch out for an innocuous-looking earth bank on the right.
Left 6 over crest, 60. Left 6, 40, okay. Right 5, caution. Left 4, tightens over bump, caution. Tightens over bump, just... Okay, we're going to have to stop, I think. How far we got to go? Okay, 5 miles. Right 4.
The crew's decision to run on the puncture to the end of the stage was maybe, with hindsight, not their best call. The thrashing rubber was wrecking the back of the Mitsubishi and would eventually flail its way through the car's wiring, ending their championship hopes.
Long right 6. Long right 6.
Wheels gone.
What?
Wheels gone.
Is the engine? Why is the engine stopped?
It's stopped.
Oh,
24-year-old Nick Elsmore from the Forest of Dean was another championship contender and consistently spectacular in both wet and dry as he worked his way up the leaderboard to 2nd in class, 4th overall. But just 1.5 seconds behind, it was a steely drive for championship leader, Sheffield's Gavin Cox and co-driver Tim Hobbs. 3rd in class would give them the title. Local ace Robert Watson was one of last year's leading junior drivers. Now he was learning the production Subaru Impreza's limits. No such problems, though, for Mark Higgins in the rally-leading Astra, now over 3 minutes ahead of his nearest opposition on the home roads that he knows nearly like the back of his hand. That includes the famous Castletown stage, one which Mark knows so well, he threw away the pace notes to give us the commentary of a lifetime. Strap on your seatbelt, he set the fastest time while he was doing it.
Okay, here we are, the Manx International Rally on Castletown. Just getting a little bit dusk now. The last time I did this was in a Honda. This car is definitely a bit quicker, and things are all going to be happening fairly quickly. Into gear, the countdown, 3, 2, 1, go. A little bit of wheel spin initially, then up through the gears. Changing up, 4th, 5th. Quite a dodgy part here, he's got to be a little bit careful. Now braking hard into it. Quite a tight corner into the left-hander. Running the car wide to the edge of the curb. Now it's flat out all the way around to a very narrow part. Got to get the braking right because there's no run-off at all here. If you get it wrong, you're straight in the house. Back along the pier in the harbour. All the people in view now. Braking hard down through the gears, turning her into the left. Just tightens up again to the left here now. You can feel the back wheel up in the air. And back through the gears, through the narrow gap, changing down 1. Running wide, trying not to hit the curb. Braking hard. Loads of people here watching. Handbrake and through. Now 2 right-handers very tight. Again, careful not to catch the curb on the outside. And just really accelerate hard all the way up the hill now. 4th gear, 5th gear. Quite an awkward corner coming up, braking early. Turning in. Give me a tight line there, back in. Accelerating, 3rd, 4th. 5th gear.
Keep right.
And over the finish. And that was Castletown.
We'll have to do that more often.
Wow, and driving like that gave Higgins a 4-minute lead over Neil Simpson, with Dale 3rd ahead of Elsmore Cox and the privateer Escort of Guy Woodcock 6th.
The quickest on all the stages today, which was what we set out to do really at the beginning of the day. It's a shame about Tapio that he disappeared, because I think he was starting to get the car working better, but unfortunately he's no longer about, so concentration's not been easy to keep, but I'm enjoying driving the car at the moment, so you know, it's the last time it's going to be used on tarmac, so let's get the most out of it.
Fantastic, really. Couldn't have wished for better. We had a bit of a slow start. We had a spin on the first stage this morning in the wet, which was very, very slippy. And I think that was a tap on the back of the head, like warning, just watch what you're doing, boy. And then from then on, we've had a good run today, so it's been fine.
And the times have been very good, considering the other Group N guys are really having a good battle.
Yeah, that's true. Those guys are in their rally, and sort of we're in our rally on our own. Mark's way out in front, and we're in front of them. So it's just a case now, keep our concentration and keep a good steady pace up that's competitive, and remain at least second for tomorrow.
Trying to prove a point that you are the quickest Group N driver in the country?
I'm trying to do that, yeah, and hopefully on this rally we succeeded.
Red sky at night, rallyman's delight. Perfect weather conditions predicted as the service crews prepared for the rally's final day. There may be 8 more special stages to go, but for one team at least, there were other priorities.
Tie and cap, and Thomas's shorts, and
this could be the way we pick drivers next year.
Yeah. Put them in a house together.
We could have a dozen drivers, put them in a house together over the winter months, and we could just work our way down to the last 3 or 4.
Will you pay our rent? Give them a Sky Electric.
All trying to be super nice now.
The old saying was right. Perfect weather for the 3rd and final leg of Man, and from the very start, Higgins was determined not to be accused of cruising. As on the rally's second day, the Astra was to set the fastest time on every single one of the day's stages. A truly dominant performance which would put Higgins over 5 minutes clear of all opposition. Mats Anderson and Claire Mole, 13th in the Proton Satria after that incident with a gate post, was still the second point scoring crew in the Ferodo Super 1600s. And they were on the way to the champion's title. Precision's been the key to Matt's success, so much so that even one of her onboard cameras can make the Proton an inch too wide.
It looked very bad on Friday morning, so but it all came together and we're here now, so we're very happy.
Just shows you it doesn't matter what happens, you've still got to get to the finish.
Yes, you never can give up.
Now Claire, you had a lot to do on this event as well, pushing, shoving and reading the notes.
Yeah, it's stuck on the double gate post. That didn't help to start with, so it was a case of bringing it home, which has been harder, I think. It's easier when you can just let them go instead of reeling them in all the time. It's been a struggle, but it's been worth the fight, and especially for the team.
There was, in fact, another non-championship 1600 car between Anderson and Dale. Local husband and wife crew Nigel and Michaela Cannell. They were on their way to a fine 10th place overall in their Vauxhall Corsa. Ahead of them, 9th, and the top ladies crew on the event were Natalie Barrett and Joanne Lockwood in their Mitsubishi. And a flapping boot lid wouldn't delay the Yorkshire duo of Alistair Ginley and Greg Haynes on their way to 8th place and 5th in the production class in their Subaru Impreza. Although they survived this late scare when the turbo failed on the very last special stage, allowing them to be passed by Robert Watson on his way to 11th. Flintshire Guy Woodcock in his ex-Works Ford Escort Formula 2 car was on his way to 7th place, co-driven by Douglas local John Skinner. He was another with traffic to contend with. Nick Elsmore's storming drive had turned into a limp to the finish with a blown piston on his Mitsubishi. Elsmore may have been passed on the road, but on the timesheet his aggregate would allow him still to come home 5th, a minute and 16 seconds ahead of Mike Brown's Mitsubishi, which was bearing the scars of an 11/10th run to the finish. And in 4th place, there'd been delight and celebrations for Gavin Cox and Tim Hobbs. The Sheffield engineer and the administration manager from Telford in Shropshire were heading for the National Group N Champions title for non-factory crews.
Well, Gavin, are you the Group N champion?
Yep, that's it. Job's in the bag. Spot on. Can't believe it. Brilliant.
A relaxed atmosphere for winners and losers alike at the St John's service area, and an interesting contrast in styles on the top 3. 3rd overall, the lightweight, agile 200 horsepower Ferodo Super 1600 Peugeot.
Square left round Bale. Into right 5, okay. Right 5, 250. Left 2 of a grid, into turn left 7 in.
Justin Dales from Hampshire, but Andrew Bargery, co-driver born on the Isle of Man, knows these stages intimately.
100, right 4, 180, stay middle. Left 4, 40, left 4, and left right 2 in, and left 1 in, 200. Keep right to turn square left round Bale, and brake maybe. 80, fast now, right 1 and left 1, and right 1 in over bump, 150. Right 2 and left 2 over bump, 50. Left 1 and right 1, 150. Braking 100. Caution, turn right 4 narrow over crest, gravel.
Dale's precision was awesome, but even he sometimes makes a mistake.
To braking left 2.
Justin, take a bow. But he was on his way to a fine 3rd place and the runners-up slot in the Ferodo Super 1600 Championship.
It's been a tough event, long event as well, but no, to get the Peugeot 1600 onto the podium even is amazing, really, and the whole Peugeot team are thrilled to bits.
A different challenge for Neil Simpson, muscling the 280 horsepower turbocharged but heavy production class Mitsubishi Lancer to a fine 2nd place.
And through dip the jump again, 130. Long flat crest at sign the right, 250.
And watch that speedo needle, top whack, 120 miles an hour.
Second lay-by on the right, 180 through dip. Flat crest, 180, turn left 4 at the pillar.
Flat out.
Flat out.
Second overall again.
I know, I'll win it one day. You know, it's been a tough event. I mean, Mark's been in a rally of his own for the last day or so, there was really no point with trying to chase him. So we had a good lead over Justin in the other car as well. So just sit tight today, and it's been quite difficult, really.
For Mark Higgins, driving at his best, one more challenge remained.
And right 4 into left 2. And right 3. Opens and tightens. To left 6 into right 6. And late left 3 plus, no cuts. 100. Left 4 fast and right 5. Continues over 100 to sign.
Flat out.
The final special stage, named the Millennium Stage, marked the first running of a new classic, swooping over the side of Snaefell to join the motorcycle TT course for the run into Douglas and the rally finish. Higgins aimed to set a record no driver would surpass for quite a while. His time for the 13.86 miles, 11 minutes and 54 seconds, over 30 seconds ahead of any challenger, Mark Higgins took his Manx Rally victory in style.
200 ever finish, the stop.
Flat out. Flat out.
Well, that lady, that'll just do nicely.
You're British champion, boy.
Well, there you go.
Victory then for Higgins and co-driver Bryan Thomas, who claims the 2000 British Championship co-driver title. A job well done.
I've got my both local events. I mean, I live in Wales now, but this is definitely my home still. And to win the Manx, I've been trying to do it for a long time now. So, well happy. I wish we'd had some more people in here to fight with, because the car is the best car I've ever had on the island. And I felt really good and comfortable with it. So, it was even like finishing a race, because all the boys were hanging over the pit wall at the end, so that was quite nice.
Higgins' victory moved him to within a single point of the title, but that 1 point meant that the man from Oulu in the Arctic north of Finland, Marko Ipati, becomes the 2000 Mobile 1 British Rally Champion. And as Ipati celebrated success, Neil Weirden could only applaud and see what the new season will bring. Weirden's contribution, though, with Higgins has brought Vauxhall the manufacturer's title by a 17-point margin from the close-fought battle between Proton and Peugeot. But the year 2000 Manx International Rally will be remembered as the event where Manxman Mark Higgins came home, saw and conquered.
Flat out.